Hello all, and welcome to this week's Kpop podcast, where in this episode I wanted to discuss BTS post hiatus and what the members are doing individually and their solo activities, as well as some of my predictions and hot takes on each of the members and what they're going to be doing. As you know, BTS have officially gone on a hiatus. I don't think it's the end of them. I do think they will at least have one more come back together as a group when they're all done with the military, or at least when half the members have gone to the military and come back, they might release an album, and then the other half will go to the military, and then when they come back, possibly release an album. It truly depends on how successful each of them are individually, if Hybe need the money, etc, etc. So let's get into the predictions. First up is J-Hope. What is J-Hope doing? As you've already heard, J-Hope has released his single called More, and it's from his upcoming album to be released quite soon called Jack in the Box. But the single itself is called More. I'm so shocked by the style and the genre of it. It's very punk rock and almost emo. It's very different. I do think that you have to have a specific taste to enjoy the song. The more I listen to it, the more I find it relatively catchy. The chorus is kind of stuck in my head, but I definitely have to admire J-Hope for really trying something different and new. I mean, you're so famous and so powerful that you can, as an artist, just go crazy and try different things. So I'm really glad that he's done that. The music video is quite interesting. It's sort of fighting against the machine, you know, the 24-hour desk job, and fighting back against the monotony of life, and J-Hope reinstating his passion for music. So it's a very interesting concept. I can't wait to hear the rest of the songs. The reason why he has released or been the first person to kind of go ahead and release an album is because he will be performing in LA at a festival, headlining along with TXT. So that's really fun. I hope that J-Hope does really well. I think J-Hope is going to be actually kind of a silent creeper in terms of he's not going to just sort of wither away into obscurity. I think with this, even just with this recent single release, J-Hope clearly has a huge passion for what he does. And I think that he's really going to tap into the freedom that he now has to be able to make any kind of music in any genre that he wants and to really just go for it. That's very exciting. I actually think out of all the group, J-Hope is going to be the most surprising with the things that he releases and does. He is a phenomenal dancer, so he can literally release a music video that's extremely heavy with choreography, or he can just do a deep rap song, or he can do something like this. So it's very interesting, and I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do. In terms of Suga, I thought previously it was confirmed that he was going to produce another song, but I can't seem to find what that is exactly. Obviously, Suga's already helped produce That by Psy, and that came out as a big hit. So clearly Suga can make good music, and he's always said that that's what he's wanted to do. So I'm guessing during this hiatus that he's really going to enjoy making music for others and of course for himself. There's no way he's not going to release another album like Dechita because everyone loved that, and he has a knack for rapping, of course. So expect Suga to make a lot of music for other people, and I really won't be surprised if he makes music for the other members on their solo albums. For example, I wouldn't be surprised if in J-Hope's upcoming solo album, Suga's produced a song. You know, it's that kind of thing. But I definitely think that he's going to establish himself as a producer other than a rapper. So good luck to Suga. And V was recently in Paris for a Celine fashion show along with Blackpink's Lisa and actor Park Bo-gum. And I think V is definitely going to lean heavily into influencing and modeling. I believe he's been dubbed the most expensive ambassador in the world, which I'm not surprised by. I think everyone wants a piece of that V pie. And he seemed to have an amazing time in Paris. He definitely drew a lot of attention to himself, which is what you want. You know, that was a really good test run for Hybe, to see sort of the kind of attention that V enlists when he's on his own. And I think that was quite a positive reception for him. So definitely expect more influencing modeling jobs from V. And in terms of if he's going to make music, I think V will make OSTs. I think he'll make OSTs for dramas. I actually think that if he does anything, he'll go into acting. I know he previously was in the period drama Hwarang, but I do think that V could definitely get back into acting. But the thing is, he's so prestigious now and such a household name. I don't think he could just be put in any random K-drama. It would have to be either like a big Netflix project type K-drama where they're really trying to make it the next Squid Game, you know, or he has to be the lead in a big drama coming up. I can't imagine he'd be in a smaller supporting role. He could be, but I'm just not sure if he's someone with this much influence, if they'd put him in a small role. I'm not quite sure how it works in terms of the hierarchy of acting in the K-drama world. I don't know if he'd be able to star in anything Hollywood. I don't know how good his English level is to that point to be able to act in Western movies or dramas. I'm not sure. Obviously, we'd love it if he was in anything like that, but I'm not quite sure. So I think he's going to be the most modeling, ambassadorship, fashionista. He's going to be in that type of sector with a little bit of you can do whatever you want on the side, whether that be making your own songs, your own OSTs. I'm not quite sure if he's going to do anything quite fast-paced or poppy. He seems quite like a jazz singer if he does anything. So expect that from V, or as I said, any acting gigs. But good luck to him. And in terms of RM, Kim Namjoon himself, I personally am a huge fan of the song he released many years back called Do You, and I've always wanted to get another song like that from him since, but it just seems that right now, if you check his Instagram, he's very much into art, which really reminds me of like Big Bang's Top and G-Dragon, just like absolutely in love with art and looking at museums, art galleries, and you know, good for him, he's enjoying his time. I know that he was recently involved in marriage rumors, which Hybe quickly squashed. To be honest, I really wouldn't be surprised if he's been married for years and years by now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just continues to kind of lay low. I think Rap Monster is someone who is quite private. He's a private person. So if he doesn't really do much during this hiatus, I think it's just because genuinely he wants to like enjoy being married and I don't know, maybe start having some kids. That could be happening. I know that this is all just rumors and it's probably, you know, not the case, but I'm just saying if it is true, then if he kind of keeps quiet for a long period of time, I think it's just because he's living his private life and enjoying that. I think he's also one of the older members, so maybe he's just enjoying his time before he has to enlist. Not quite sure. But he is, among all the members, the one that knows the most English. So he could, if he wants to make any hip-hop music or anything, he has the highest chance to be able to collaborate with Western hip-hop artists. Like, he has the most potential to be able to collaborate with them. But once again, it's up to him what he wants to do. I think his rap is good enough where he could just release his own music, but it depends on what Hybe wants for him. If they have the connections and they want to keep the BTS name relevant in the West, then they could make him, since he knows the most English, collaborate with some Western rappers, Western artists he could feature. It'll be interesting to see kind of which route he takes. And once again, of course, like all the BTS members in the hiatus, they can all feature in each other's songs and music, so he could do that as well. But good luck to him. In terms of Jin, he's currently on holiday and totally enjoying himself, which, you know, good for him. Soak it in before entering the military. I'm guessing he'll have to enter the military quite soon, so yeah, just let him enjoy himself for now. I feel like he'll release one song before he enlists, possibly a ballad, something as like a goodbye to the fans. I could imagine him doing that. If Hybe are kind enough, he could release a full album before he goes, but I'm not quite sure. I think it might just be one song, but we'll see. I do think after the military though, I don't know why, I just have a feeling that Jin could be quite a good actor. Just put him in a drama. I think that could be quite nice. He could just end up being a very good host on variety programs and things like that. It just depends on what he feels like doing once he gets out. But good luck to Jin as well. I wanted to discuss Jimin. Jimin is my favourite among the BTS members in terms of his vocals and his dance. He's just so good. But recently he did a magazine photo shoot where he was, you know, showcasing his abs, and it was just giving me Jimin's always given me Big Bang Taeyang vibes, just in terms of his vocals. You can totally tell that Jimin is a huge fan of Taeyang, and Taeyang also went down the route of showing his abs, showing his body, his physique, etc. And I won't be surprised if Jimin goes down that route. I think personally for both those men, they don't really need to do that. Like, I think their vocals are so good that they can keep a shirt on if they want. And I think people will still come and really enjoy their music. But if that's what they want to do, they can. I do know that in the past, like when they debuted, Jimin did enjoy showing his abs a lot, so maybe he's going back to his roots, going back to that era, who knows. But he did say that he wants to showcase a more mature side of himself with his upcoming music and what he's going to release. That's great. I just can't wait. I'm so excited for Jimin. I think he has such a unique voice and powerful vocals. He can really control his voice. He can make it quiver and shake and break when he wants it to. It's not a mistake. And he really evokes a lot of emotions and kind of changes his voice throughout the songs that he sings. Love that. So I'm very excited for him. Obviously, he's going to release an album. I don't know if it will feature a lot of other people. I think he can easily just release an album that's just his voice. But we'll see what happens. Very excited for Jimin. I do think he feels like he has a lot to prove. He wants to kind of showcase the confidence he's built over the years, because as we all know, Jimin has been very self-conscious. He is a very self-conscious person that kind of has been knocked down quite a bit. I think he's quite sensitive to what people say about him, negative things. So I do really hope that his solo endeavors, he can build his own persona and really build up himself, because for some reason, especially when I was watching Yet to Come, I just thought, why does Jimin feel like he's kind of shrinking into himself? Which is kind of crazy to me. Like, he's so talented and he's so good, and I think he could be such a great solo artist with the kind of almost gothic music he creates, in a sense. It's so unique to me. I love Serendipity and Lie. They're such different songs and they're both so beautiful and showcase emotional, almost like it's something coming from within him, needing to evoke so much emotion from him. I just love it. But yeah, I think Jimin, I don't think Jimin should be as fearful as he is about people. He's part of BTS. He's part Jimin. People love him. I'm excited to see him kind of go with his best foot forward and really just bring his confidence and his persona back up. I want to see him on top again. So that's my thoughts with Jimin. Good luck to him. And as for Jungkook, recently Jungkook came out with a song, Charlie Puth came out with a song featuring Jungkook, Left and Right, which is lovely. I think it's a great song. Their vocals really work together. And in the music video, Jungkook he's just so pretty in it. But in terms of Jungkook and his solo, absolutely he will release a solo album. Absolutely. However, Hybe are definitely going to bank on Jungkook being a Western draw. I think they're going to really market him to the Western market, the US market. I think that's also because he's the youngest, so he has the most time to promote and build his own fan base in America compared to the others. Also, he can sing and dance like equally well. I think he's quite versatile in the company's eyes, and his voice is the most commercial. It's the most will suit most people's ears. Most people will be able to kind of stomach his voice, if you know what I mean. His style is the most commercial, the most pop. Unfortunately for him, unless he wants this, he will be pushed more into the Western market. I'm not sure what Jungkook would want. I think he'd be perfectly happy just making music and promoting in Korea, but obviously Hybe want a big piece of the money pie, and that is in America. But to be honest, he could also release music in Japanese because he's very popular in Japan as well. So I think kind of he will be Hybe's workhorse. I don't think Jungkook will stop working. I think he'll be the most active. We'll be doing a lot of performances. Expect big collaborations. Expect Ariana Grande features. Expect Justin Bieber features. Heck, even Billie Eilish. I think that Hybe is really going to make it happen for Jungkook the most. Like I said, because he's the youngest and he's the most, even if you watch behind the scenes BTS footage, Jungkook goes the hardest. He doesn't know how to stop. He just exerts himself way too much. The other members tell him to calm down and to stop and take a rest, but he doesn't really know how to because he's the youngest. He started in this idol life at a young age, where it kind of reminds me of Taemin and NCT Dream, you know, people like Mark, where it's like you don't know how to stop, all you know is work. So I do think that he will be willing and wanting to work, but I think Hybe won't discourage it. Hybe won't be like, hey, take a break. They're just going to keep pushing their workhorse and making that money. But I do think that because of this, Jungkook will have really good music. I think Hybe is going to make sure that his solo album has really good songs. I think they're going to invest a lot in him. And I think he's actually the most likely to be nominated for a solo album Grammy. If Hybe still want them to win a Grammy, then I think Jungkook is most likely to do that. Obviously, he won't win because the Grammys are, you know, hashtag scammies, but I could imagine him being nominated once again just to get those views in, get those eyeballs watching. That's my predictions about Jungkook, and that's my predictions about all the members and what they're going to be doing with this BTS hiatus, what they're going to do in terms of their solo work. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you disagree, what you think they're going to be doing, what ideas or predictions did you like or dislike. Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye!